Wait, so the word for magic and wizardry in the Old Testament is pharmakia? Wait, so are you saying the Bible warned us against big pharma?
Technically, you could construe it that way, yeah.
Oh, dude.
This is why we've been failed by mainstream Christianity.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Midnight Mormons. I am your host, Cardin Ellis, and today I'm joined in the studio by Kwaku L. Brad Whitbeck, and I did that in reverse order, but it's all good. Anyway.
Yeah.
It works.
Brad, what on earth are we talking about? A mistranslation of wizardry and sorcery in the Old Testament? Here, you just lead us off. What are we talking about?
It's not a mistranslation. It's just the word that was translated to mean sorcery. I thought you guys would just have a bit of a field day with.
Okay.
So, guess what the Greek word that was translated into sorcery that we are told to avoid in the Bible, guess what that word is?
Vaccines. I mean,
you're closer than you would think. It is
Magus. No, what?
Pharmakeia.
Oh, snap.
Wait.
So you were right. Kwaku was right.
Yep.
So the big pharma of Baal is really what they were talking about. Is that what I'm getting at?
Wait, so are you saying the Bible warned us against big pharma?
Technically, you could construe it that way, yeah.
Oh, dude. Okay, keep going, dog. Keep going.
So I just thought this was a super interesting thing to see. Like, it isn't a literal direct connection that the Bible is saying avoid pharmacists, right? This isn't a one-to-one thing. I just think it's really interesting.
No, the pharmacists, those are just the little people that Big Pharma uses to convince you that the person in the lab coat isn't pushing what their board of directors has said is real medicine. You know what I'm saying? Like, no joke. Wait, so the word for magic and wizardry in the Old Testament is pharmakia?
Yeah. Sorcery, specifically. Yeah, when they're talking about like bad sorcery being used, like this, I don't think this is the word used around like the Magi who came to
like Simon Magus is the individual of the Greek word magus, which is an individual magician.
No, I'm talking the three
and then
wise men.
the three wise men, the Greek plural.
These were not
magi.
used with this. This is like referring to the bad people that you would go consult to get certain outcomes in your life when you should be turning to God.
So I can see Kwaku is totally processing this now.
First is this, okay? Here's the thing. This is why we've been failed by mainstream Christianity in our society, okay?
I love this. But like whenever something comes up, I'm like, see, this is why boomers.
Yeah.
And the Kwaku's like, this is why mainstream Christianity.
Mainstream Christians suck, and they absolutely suck, and they've ruined everything. So first, we did all the heavy lifting, by the way, on alcohol opposition.
That's true.
Okay, so imagine evangelicals have had so much power in this country up until yesterday because they ruined it. But they had Billy Graham, they had all these people, Jerry Falwell, they had what's that one school that wouldn't let black people date? Bob Jones. Like, they had all those. Like,
really? I don't know about that one, but anyway.
Yeah, Bob
That
Jones
sounds
University, the Christian school, didn't let blacks and whites date until 2000.
Oh my God.
You didn't know that?
What the
That's
heck
a real thing.
is that? Wait, no.
Google it.
No. Okay.
Google it right now.
I believe you
I'm
wholeheartedly.
looking it up while you're
Baptists
talking.
are like, they come after us for race. Baptists suck.
Oh, man.
Okay, living in the shadow of the Masters University, we're going to roll that one back.
Sorry.
To not,
just there are Baptists
certain
who
ones
suck.
with certain views suck. But keep going, okay.
I'm just saying, when your religion is birthed out of not wanting to get rid of slavery, I don't trust your anything.
No.
That's how we got them. We never talked about the Southern Baptists. And yeah, anyway, so we did all the heavy lifting on alcohol. And if they had the balls, if mainstream Christians had the cojones and the morals to actually oppose alcohol and save the lives of thousands of people murdered by drunk drivers, they could have done it. But instead, they like their thrills, they like getting drunk too much, and they didn't care about human lives enough. And that's why we have all this death. Evangelicals single-handedly could have saved lives of thousands of people from alcohol abuse, from domestic abuse, which is usually done under the influence of alcohol, and people driving under the influence. But they didn't. We did all the heavy lifting, and we could have used their help, but their leaders are and didn't want to actually have any balls and anything ready.
Dude, I just fact checked you on this Bob Jones University thing, and you were right to the year. Look at this. Bob Jones University drops interracial dating ban. This is according to Christianity Today. March 1st, 2000. Bob Jones III, president of Bob Jones University, BJU. There's actually a university called BJ University, which, yeah, just whatever. And then announced March 3rd that the fundamentalist
I know what their honor
school-
code is against.
Yeah, just like, okay. So they straight up announced March 3rd that the fundamentalist school is dropping its longstanding ban on interracial dating. Oh my God.
Oh my word.
Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Kwaku.
So tie this back into the.
So basically, what I'm saying is this: how annoying is it that Christians, mainstream Christians, and all their fundamental, rigid approaches to Scripture have consistently failed in knocking away the giant gleaming problem that has always existed of let's call it chemical abuse, so we don't ping YouTube, okay?
Okay.
They missed this one. With all their whole, the Bible is perfect, there's nothing wrong with it, and we're like, actually, it's true, it's as far as it's translated correctly, and they always get mad at us for saying that. But imagine how much better America would be if half our kids weren't on these serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Imagine how much better we'd be if we didn't have Prozac abuse mainstream. But
Kids selling Adderall for fake prescriptions so they
why
can peddle.
can't why the evangelicals are running the whole dang country? Why couldn't they get stuff right? We could have saved so many lives, but instead they got to follow the tradition because they care so much about their monks and all the translation. If you look at the 1500 versions of this thing, it matches this, which matches this, which matches this, which means it's no. What about Anthony Fauci is the you know what I'm saying is the new priest of Baal, and you guys missed it. The only one who got it right is the damn witchcraft pastor in Oregon. I'm sorry, Greg Locke is more right than half of you guys. What's going on?
Yeah, dude.
Okay. So, with that in mind, something that I wanted to bring up with this as well is that word pharmakeia, it has connotations that have to do with poisoning specifically.
Oh,
and
snap.
So I think that's an interesting way to look at it because, again, I don't think this is necessarily saying...
Well, isn't a substance that is only masking symptoms in order to prolong the length of the prescription in its way a poison instead of a solution? You know what I'm saying?
You could definitely look at it that way. And I could see the argument that, like, doctors who are treating symptoms in order to keep you a patient could be viewed as a poisoner, right?
Yeah.
I think that totally makes sense. That jives with me. But I don't think what we should do is then be like, all doctors are evil, you know, and go full Greg Locke on doctors now and be like, doctors are all witches and need to be thrown out.
No, those were the people in his congregation.
Where maybe they were doctors.
Look, I don't have nothing against. I do have some stuff against doctors. I'm not gonna lie, but a lot though of the issue is, it's just corporatism and it's greed and it's corrupt businessmen wanting to make a buck off of what should be medicine. So now, what if the new priests of Baal literally are the ones in lab coats? What if it's not these women with crystals?
That would go along with scientism being the new religion.
It for sure is. But I like, you got these pastors and you got these people railing, oh, the crystals and astrology is satanic. Anyway, give it to me. Like, that's literally what we've been seeing. And I'm sorry, crystals are. It's a rock. If that's where literally you're gonna draw the line at a rock and like, how dare you meditate? How dare you sit there and be quiet? Like, I'm sorry, that's what you're fighting against.
And you know, you bring up a really good point, Kwaku, about the dereliction of duty of evangelicals throughout the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Like, Billy Graham, the power that dude had, like, they literally the Democrats created the Johnson Amendment to curb the power of radio pastors. And it used to be said that you can't take any of the polls seriously until the Sunday before Election Day, because the Sunday before Election Day, the major pastors would tune in. Like, there was 17 Joel Osteens back then. Do you know what the number one radio personality, like I think in the late 50s and early 60s, was for like 8 years. It was a Catholic bishop, like not even evangelical, was a Catholic bishop.
Really?
Father Sheen, I think was his name. I'm going to look this up really fast so I make sure that I don't end up mistaking myself. Oh yeah, Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen. This guy like had a huge following. You add the Grahams to this, you add dudes in the South, like we're talking prime time bunker buster broadcasts here. We're all done by all of these cats. Yeah, this guy right here, Fulton Sheen, Archbishop Fulton Sheen, had like a huge, his stuff still shows up on TikTok to this day.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I think they were called the radio addresses. Here it is, 1944 to 1945. I think he continued into the 60s, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, you really do take the writings of the New Testament and the Apostle Paul pretty seriously, saying, okay, cool. You know, a bitter font can't bring forth sweet water, and a sweet font can't bring forth bitter water. By your fruits you shall know them. Let's look at the fruits of these leaders, just like it says in Remember the Titans, another canonized work. You know what I'm saying? The attitude reflects leadership, right? They had supreme power post-war, like supreme cultural and social power. And what did it atrophy into? Finger wagging at MTV. Like finger wagging at MTV and Dungeons and Dragons. Like I remember when I brought home my first Magic the Gathering cards and my parents saw me, then I was like, you know, getting involved with a little club of kids in my junior high that were playing like Magic the Gathering. They give me some cards and I was like trying to learn how to play the game. And my parents like legit asked me because one of their teacher friends was like worried that it was like demonic. And they're like, do people like sacrifice themselves? You know, I'm like, no, it's a game, mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, these people had some serious power and
they blew it. They blew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that with the translation that we have in there, and then you still have Christ talking about how like the whole need no physician, right? But they that are sick. So there's no condemnation of doctors all throughout the Bible itself. But standing up to the power of people who are poisoning you is probably a good thing. And I think alcohol is probably one of the highest ones I can think of in our society.
When Heber J. Grant was upset that prohibition was ending, I agree. Like, I'm sorry, I know people freak out whenever you say that. If you look at the vitriol and anger people get whenever we talk about how alcohol is bad, you can see the demonic possession on society. People will fight tooth and nail to be inebriated and to not have control over their bodies.
I mean, there's a reason why every prepper organization says even if you don't drink, you should stockpile alcohol.
Yeah.
So if in the end times you need to barter, you know what I'm saying?
And there's something that you just said, Kwaku, in order to not feel responsible. What did you say?
Yeah, well, in order to not feel responsible for your actions.
So
yeah,
I think there's something deep in the word pharmakeia and the way it got translated into sorcery, which comes from sorcer, which means to bind your fate.
Ooh.
And what you just said about alcohol making you not responsible for your own actions, I think one of the roots in this is going to others to absolve you from being responsible for your own actions.
Brad, not drinking alcohol is a work. And if you think you're going to work your way to heaven, you're going straight to hell. Jesus did everything. That's why I can have 5 Michelobes when I wake up in the morning, okay? That's literally how some of these people think.
No, but what I think it is, what I think the root issue here is that you don't want to be giving up your agency as you're trying to like take care of yourself, right? As you don't want to just say, oh, hey, no, I need my this kind of drug to be able to be myself, or even coffee, you know, like the kind of people who are saying like, well, I'm not me until I've like had my morning coffee. I'm like, that's not good. That's not how you should live your life. I think that's a very, very bad way to be. You should be who you are without the use of like stimulants and things like that. And that's excluding stuff where people are like legitimately psychotic and need actual drugs. But I do think that there's an issue like you were talking about earlier, Kwaku, with overprescription of things where people are just kind of using that to mask other things when they don't necessarily need those drugs to function. They're just using them to feel better. you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of funny that I just noticed. Sometimes I feel like, who's Joe Rogan's assistant? Jamie?
Yeah.
Right. That's always having to pull stuff up on the fly and, fact check. I remember last time Alex Jones was on Joe Rogan, he was like, okay, slow down, buddy. Like I just gotta fact check and verify everything you say or they get mad at me. And it was blowing his mind how much he was actually remembering correctly and that like Alex Jones was right 99% of the time. Right. Well, I did notice something here. And to me, this almost plays into your accusation, Kwaku, that like, they're wrong for you if the world teams up and agrees that they were good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at the New York Times article, the obituary on Billy Graham. Literally says Billy Graham, 99, dies, pastor-filled stadiums and counseled presidents. Over the course of his career, Reverend Billy Graham capitalized on modern communication technologies from television to satellite to the internet to give his ministry a global reach. And there's this great picture, right? Now go to the last obituary that they wrote on for Thomas S. Monson. Thomas Monson, president of the Mormon Church, dies at 90. Oh, and by the way, you can't see it right now because I'm getting this. You have to subscribe to us or else we won't show you your articles thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I remember when I read it the first time, it was basically all like, this guy was a homophobe. Like, it didn't mention any of his stuff about like
I
the Boy Scouts or
how mad everyone was.
Yeah. And so badly that, look at this. Apparently there's a second article that I've never seen before, but we'll pull up now, that says our obituaries editor on coverage of former Mormon leader Thomas S. Monson. So this is probably some kind of walk it back article where they're doing a sorry, not sorry. You know what I'm saying? But like that right there shows like, this is the power they had. They had the power to demand respect from the New York Times. And now, like, at best, when Mormons get angry, we might get a hashtag sorry, not sorry article. You know what I'm saying? And the only people doing, quote, like you say, the heavy lifting, it's really funny. J-Dub's got Mormon Leaks taken down, and it's your Scientologist buddies are the only ones pushing back on Big Pharma right now.
Yo, I am like repping Scientology. I'm repping your logo. That's how much I respect you guys for fighting against the powers and actually having balls. Okay, I don't care.
So
about
I'm
all
not
the,
ready to go there, but the whole private Navy thing,
It's pretty sweet.
That is just like
Scientologists have risen swag and nobody wants to admit it. Okay,
but dude, like you can't look at the stock price of Johnson & Johnson and not see that it's septupled, octupled. You know what I'm saying? Went up a bazillion % and got everybody rich associated with it. Not say like,
speaking of the people who got rich associated with it.
Here. Yeah.
How many of those are a congressman?
Yeah.
And just like, did you know there are apps that will let you like follow Nancy Pelosi's stock trading and like follow? How is this not corrupt? Like, how do we?
Anyway, okay. So, what we've concluded? What's the conclusion of this, man? Like, what's this mean? Is like, so did the Bible just correctly predict Big Pharma? Is there something we got to do with this new light and wisdom? What do you say, Brad?
I would say for me, the place that it's bringing me is to take a close look at how I'm approaching my relationship with my doctors and how I approach my relationship with any substances in my life. It kind of brings me back to the word of wisdom in a way, where it talks about how even every herb is useful for man, right? And we can be, we can have interactions with those substances in our lives that are good if we're using it in the right way, which I think is using it in a way that doesn't make us reliant on them and doesn't make us doesn't give up our agency.
See, I was hoping for some kind of cool like prophecy against Big Pharma, like some kind of ancient curse
okay. No,
written in Hebraic where like La Pharmakia is the great Babylon that will fall, or something
here
like
it
that.
Is.
Shut up, really?
Okay, so.
Okay, what is it? We got to end with that. That's awesome.
Let's just go wild with it then. The vision of the tree of life that Nephi saw was about all of the things that are natural and good, and across the river of darkness is this artificial man-made building built with no foundation up above everything, and great will be its fall. Big Pharma is the great and spacious building, and all of those people trapped in it, laughing at you, scorning you, are all stuck in this artificial man-made thing that has no foundation at all.
It's like the IRS.
Yes.
The new IRS building.
Yep.
What? It's floating in the air?
Have you not seen the new IRS building and how it looks
Wait.
like a creepy Freemasonic lodge, the one in Maryland?
Oh my gosh. Hold on a second. Okay, cool. So
With their 87,000 new agents.
new
And all they do is
IRS.
monitor credit, which is something that never has, does not, and will never exist.
Okay, so hold on. I'm looking this up, and then we're gonna this one right here.
Yeah. No, wait, no one. You see the one with the hand?
Where
Go up, go up, go up.
this one? What the heck?
Yeah. That's
This
the
is-
IRS building.
Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we got it.
With the creepy little pyramid out front with the two.
This is the new IRS building with a straight up pyramid, and then like
What the freak? What? Why?
what? That is creepy AF. That's like the UN building that had like the monster
little
from the
demon
Book of
from- yeah.
Revelation.
Like, what is this? Why? Why did they do this?
Who approves this crap?
The lizard people.
Did they just want to mess with conspiracy theorists?
Okay, that's it. I think we've stumbled upon another podcast here. I need to do some research. I can't even believe what my eyes have seen. This is Midnight Mormons. Tell us what you think. See you in the next program.